Show.
Good evening, everybody. Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Great to have you with us on 2K. Tonight, it'll be the San Antonio Spurs up against the Phoenix Suns. And guys, for the Suns,
we've got basketball action at the end before.
Guys, you told me.
Thank you, David. Steve, we have a great matchup in the backcourt in this one. What are some of the toughest aspects of defending against guards who can light it up?
The toughest thing is, Kevin, when you have a guard that has it going from behind the line, and he's a guy that drives the basketball. So you're planning for the drive, but he is starting to light you up from behind the line. So you're really in no man's land. You get up on him, he's going around you, then he's knocking down the three. That's when you start yelling, "Help! Help!"
Looking at the starting five for the Phoenix Suns. Booker and Jackson, the young perimeter pair. Allen Williams out there with Chandler, and it's Bledsoe in at the point guard position. Booker outside. Over Ginobili. Doesn't get it to drop for him. For the Phoenix Suns, they come into this one following a loss to the Nuggets in Denver.
And no one expected them to win that game per se, but no excuse for the way that one ended up.
They just simply blew it. Hopefully that won't occur ever again now that they have that bad taste in their mouth.
Booker with it. Picked up by Ginobili. The drive by Booker and the dunk by Booker.
And a hard finish there, guys.
Yeah, and only one hand needed for that one. Doesn't go that time. The Suns go the other way with it. Their last encounter was in Phoenix.
And that was an ugly loss for them last time playing these guys. And really, the rebounding differential was the key.
They demonstrate a real tenacity on the glass and made their presence felt. We'll see if they can repeat that kind of play.
Leonard attacking. Here's Gasol. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Gasol's got his first basket of the night.
And what can't this guy do? Kawhi calmly dropping dimes.
Knocks it loose. Jackson with it. Leonard picks him up. And so the ball's out of bounds. Ginobili touched it last.
How Gasol, as skilled of a big man as you'll find in this league, in my opinion, passing, shooting, handling, you name it.
Here's Williams. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
And that's what the pump fake's there for. Get your man off his feet and drive right around him.
Good work there as it goes.
You know, that's another good play call. They are shooting 80% to start this game.
We were just talking about Pau shooting last season. He shot almost 55% from three-point range. How about that?
That's how you fend off Father Time. Keep adding layers to your game.
For Phoenix, they've gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Here's Booker, and it comes off the front of the rim.
Looking a little tentative on a very makeable shot, and this one was uncontested.
And that one's good by Aldridge.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
Jackson kicks to Williams. Booker outside. And there's the call on Ginobili. That's foul number 2 for him.
That's his second foul of the first quarter, and they may want to sit him for a while to avoid number 3.
So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. And the Suns here with a different look. Lenz checked in for Chandler. Chris comes in for Allen Williams. Heights checked in for Jackson. And Eula subbed in for Eric Bledsoe. Now let's check out and highlight the best defenses in the NBA. Number 1, the Spurs.
It's the hallmark of a strong defensive team. When you can keep your opponents to such a low point total, it shows you are setting the pace. With the acquisition of LaMarcus Aldridge, the Spurs going against the grain. Most teams going small and shooting threes. Aldridge, a big forward who loves the mid-range.
Dragan Bender, he's checked in for the Suns. And with Aldridge in the paint alongside another 7-footer, the Spurs have plenty of length inside.
Yeah, they do. LaMarcus Aldridge, with pretty good mobility for a player his height, he's able to move his feet defensively and cover the pick and roll perfectly.
Gay passes to Anderson. And it's out of bounds. The Spurs able to retain possession here. And looking back at last season, here's a look at the 3-point and 2-point shot attempt averages for the Suns.
They stayed away from being too reliant on the three-point shot. They used it when they had to, but kept things balanced. And that's what you want to have, an offense that comes at you in all sorts of ways.
A nice shot by Knight.
And the D really on its heels on that possession, didn't know what to do.
Here's Laverne, and too long on the shot. Suns trail by 5. Chris kicks to Bender, and the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Gay. Let's check out the Western Conference standings right now that we're here in the new year. You look at San Antonio, and not a surprise really to see them sitting there in that #1 spot in the conference. The excellent brand of basketball they've been putting on display lately has been terrific. And of course the Suns just way behind.
And you know, for the Spurs, any fears of a regression for them this season have been laid to bed. They're an elite team yet again, and they're poised for a dominant stretch run here.
I can't see them slowing down anytime soon. If anything, I think they'll just get stronger as the playoff gets closer.
The drive by Green. Shots good by Mills.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And it's Chris in the corner. Fires from deep. Cans it from downtown. Chris has got 5 points so far. Spurs leading by 4. That's good from Gay on the assist by Mills.
Yeah, that was the 3rd straight high percentage look the defense has allowed. The defenders have got to start putting bodies on bodies.
There's a screen by Chris. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. And Patrick Mills gets that whistle that time. That's his first foul. A different look now for San Antonio. Bertans comes in for Rudy Gay. And Murray subbed in for Danny Green. And the Suns making a change here as well. Jones checked in for Dragan Bender. Chris gets the bucket.
Yeah, those are starting to add up, guys. Of their last 5 baskets, 3 have been triples.
Here's Murray. 4 seconds left, and that's 2 points on the layup. Murray's got his first points of the game.
And just showing you his determination despite the size difference.
And he makes the little adjustment just as he goes to lay it in.
And they're scoring pretty well as we conclude the first quarter. And let's hear from Tyson Chandler. He talked about what he brings to this team.
I do a lot that doesn't show up on the stat sheet. That's what I pride myself on. You know, some nights you're not going to get the ball.
Chandler has long been the kind of player all coaches want on their team. He's the definition, Greg, of an unselfish player who doesn't care about his ego or his stats.
And he knows that and prides himself on it. That also makes him the kind of player his teammates appreciate so much because they know nobody wins any rings without a guy like Tyson Chandler on the team.
And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And looking at what we've seen from the Spurs so far, guys, what do you think?
So far, they've been active scoring the basketball, built up a little lead here, and looking good.
The play calling has been perfect, backed up by beautiful execution. They've certainly captured the moment in that first quarter.
We've got Mills. Laverne is out there with Anderson. Then there's Murray. And it's Bertans in at the 3 spot. So that's who San Antonio starts the second with. Laverne dishes to Murray. Pass to Bertans. And Anderson kicks to Murray. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. It goes on Brandon Knight. The Spurs have had 2 chances at the line already, making them both.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
And you need talent, Steve, but, you know, the value of chemistry can't be overlooked either. And as a player, how do you make yourself a good teammate? How do you help in that regard toward good chemistry?
Well, I think one is being a good person, understanding the game of life, and it's about winning, not about numbers. It's about letters, W's and L's, and you want W's. You look at a lot of teams, and they play well with each other, and they're unselfish. Unselfish teams usually win.
Well, they said the same thing about you. You're an all-star caliber player, but you're a great teammate. I think for a player, that's like the highest praise you could get.
Yeah, it is. When you start talking about guys that he's a great teammate, whether he's a superstar or a guy, the 12th man, guys want to be around that. And usually you see those guys hang around the league longer than other guys that are maybe more talented or better players.
Jackson, he's checked in for the Suns. Bledsoe against Parker. And the call will be against Tony Parker. That's his third foul of the game. Bledsoe with it. He's picked up by Parker. Here's Williams. It's rebounded by Leonard. Spurs leading by 10. Parker outside. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Leonard's got 3 assists tonight.
Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
Now here's Booker. Last game, 26 points to end the run. No good off the back of the rim. Now here's Murray. D right on him, and it's Leonard missing.
That's one of those where you think you've got it, you relax for just a second, and then you're kicking yourself.
For San Antonio, they've gone 3 of 4 from the floor here in the second quarter.
Pushing the action, always working for the best shot. Nice drive by Kawhi.
Suns trail by 14. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Booker with it. Now guarded by Murray. And stolen by Murray in transition. Here come the Spurs. And it's Murray with the jam.
And I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen tonight. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively, turning into easy points.
And that replay presented by Under Armour, showing us the fantastic steal that led to that fast break finish. Another unleashed chaos moment. Here's Bledsoe after the basket by San Antonio. And stolen by Aldridge. Dishes to Murray. An amazing finish with a hand right in his face. Murray's got 7 points in the game.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
And some changes here for the Spurs. Pau Gasol's checked in for Aldridge. Gay comes in for Bertans. And it's Ginobili in for DeJounte Murray. And a change for the Suns. Bender's checked in. And the call will be against Tony Parker. That will get him his 4th foul of the game. Parker against Bledsoe. Shot to stop the drought. Nice spin off the left rim and in. Bledsoe's got his first 2 points of the night. And Greg Popovich, also the head coach of the U.S. national men's basketball team, a former military man himself, and of course, guys, very passionate about his country.
You're totally right, Kevin. He's been outspoken, but his actions speak even louder. Doing a lot of charity work in San Antonio for disadvantaged youth. He cares, his players know it, and it's a part of what makes him a great man.
Here's Booker. Kawhi Leonard making his last shot. Bledsoe passes to Williams. Just 4 to shoot. And the basket by Jackson.
And how about that mentality by Jackson? Looking to shoot it as soon as that pass was delivered.
Fouled in the act of shooting. A 3-point play chance coming up.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
The Spurs have shot 75% at the line tonight, going 3 for 4. And the Suns here with a different look. Lenz checked in for Alan Williams. Chris comes in for Jackson. Brandon Knight, he's checked in for Booker. And Tyler Ulis subbed in for Eric Bledsoe.
Well, you know what this Suns team wants to do when they go up against you? They are looking to get out in the open floor and get easy baskets off transition. One of the best teams in the league when it comes to capitalizing on the break.
And in general, this Suns team looks to push the tempo, Greg, and play at a very high pace whenever they can.
You know, if you look over the history of the franchise, they've always been at their best when they've played that style. The Suns and that run and gun mentality just seem to go hand in hand. And I think also it happens to work well with the athletes that are presently on this roster.
Out of bounds, Phoenix will take possession.
And we get a chance to check out the numbers for Brandon Knight. Getting around 12 points a game, 3 assists, and 2 rebounds. And guys, he's making winning plays. It's as simple as that. Not a star player per se, but he makes his presence felt.
And the numbers, they back it up. Whether he can sustain this level of production, we don't know. But the arrow's pointing upward right now.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying antics to narrow the deficit.
Not only does that dunk help in cutting into this league, but it gives this team a real confidence boost, too.
The Spurs shooting their 6th and 7th free throws in the game. And that one falls for Parker.
As we've gotten closer to halftime, their style has become more and more physical.
Jones checked in for Bender. And Tony Parker drops them both.
Popovich has done a great job of developing Tony Parker's entire game, and you're seeing it right now at the free throw line.
There's a screen by Chris. Expanding his range. And the rebound goes to Pau Gasol. Here's Leonard. He can't hit that time. Suns trail by 17. Knight on the wing. He's covered by Ginobili. Now Ulis. From deep three-point range, no good on the buzzer beater. And so it's the San Antonio Spurs feeling good about their 17-point lead. Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime, so we'll be back in just a bit.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime
Welcome back, everybody.
Show.
It's the halftime show on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson here with a pretty close game for the Spurs throughout the first quarter. At the end of one, they were able to end up with a 5-point lead. They just exploded in the second quarter, grabbing the momentum and running with it. Basket after basket, and they played stingy. And that wraps up halftime as the game.
We come back to San Antonio now with a look at the world-famous Riverwalk. The Suns shooting 43% from the field. Here's who Earl Watson is starting the second half with. Booker the 2 and Jackson the 3, the up-and-coming wing pair. Williams is out there with Chandler, and it's Bledsoe in at the point. And more, it's looking like Devin Booker, the 13th pick in the 2015 draft, is going to be one of the biggest steals of that draft class.
And he's one that all GMs are looking at, and they wish they could have a redo. I mean, Booker was very young when he entered the draft, and some teams maybe shied away from that. But clearly he's shown that he could be one of the best players in that class.
That's going to drive your coach crazy. Protect the basketball. He lost focus for 1 second. There goes the possession.
And he just big-boyed it right there. The height advantage he's got down low, really difficult for them to defend.
Bledsoe outside. From the baseline. And so it looks like the Suns will retain possession here. Shot from the inbound.
And they could have used that trying to cut into this league. He's been off all night.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
Mills dishes to Gasol. Chandler with the defensive effort.
That's just two tough competitors meeting right at the rim. Someone, in my opinion, had to lose.
It's good.
That was their 4th attempt of this half. They finally got one to go down.
Spurs leading by 19 points. And Steve, as the big three in San Antonio age and retire, how big was it for San Antonio to sign the All-Star LaMarcus Aldridge?
You know, it's huge, Kevin, a Texas native, and it's easy to see why he chose the Spurs. It's been interesting to see him integrate his game into their system.
A different look now for San Antonio. Laverne, he's checked in for Gasol. Anderson comes in for Kawhi Leonard. And it's Green in for Manu Ginobili.
decent when he entered the league. Aldridge has turned himself into a phenomenal free throw shooter.
Phoenix calls timeout. Steve, so let me ask you this. Do players consciously think about, I need a couple free throws, I need a couple of layups, I got to get a couple of shots per quarter? I mean, do they try to plot and plan an individual quarter like that and how they're going to score in different ways?
You're totally right, Kevin. The reason why is because as a two-guard back in the day, if I could get to that free throw line and put a foul on a guy that's guarding me, that loosens up his defensive mentality. He's not as aggressive. And then now I know when I get to the bonus, I can drive it. He's either going to let me go or I can create contact and get to that line. You want to score easy, and that's how most scorers do. They really score easy. We just kind of applaud them when they're knocking down threes and big shots.
The 17-footer misses off the left iron. Spurs leading by 21. Here's Mills. Chandler with the rebound.
How is it possible? Wide open, too.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Alan Williams. That's his third foul of the game. And some changes here for the Spurs. Bertanis, he's checked in for Aldridge. And Murray's subbed in for Patty Mills. Roggenbender, he's checked in for Phoenix. And how about a look now at the first-year block leaders in the NBA? Here are the top rookie intimidators. Fifth is Josh Jackson.
And that ability to send shots away at the rim, so highly valued. It takes guts to put yourself in harm's way and contest those finishers.
And this is the first season where we have ads on jerseys in the NBA with the teams. Gut reaction, Steve, now that you've seen the ads on the jerseys, how do you feel about it?
You know, Kevin, I don't like it because I know it's going to start to add up. Well, we're not going to even be able to see the player's name and the logos. It's just going to be ads everywhere. I understand it, but I don't like it.
You know, I can see it for practice jerseys. I can see it maybe when you're selling it retail to the fans. But, I mean, isn't there enough advertising already? I mean, let's that's one of the great things about keep it as pure as possible. I get the European deal, but there's so much money here, it would seem like this is just an add-on that doesn't need to be added on.
Kevin, I'm totally agreement with you. I think practice jerseys, like you said, selling the jerseys maybe, but I think also maybe at the All-Star game, you can fill those guys up for that one game. But I would love to keep it pure, getting a chance to just see those uniforms the way they are.
Rudy Gay's checked in for San Antonio. Parker comes in for DeJounte Murray. Bertans kicks to Parker. It's deflected. A little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now here in the third. For Phoenix, they have shot 2 free throws, and they're 1 of 2 so far. No good on the free throw, and Phoenix making a change here. Jones is checked in, and he sinks the second. San Antonio leading by 19 points. Parker drives in. Len grabs the board.
I appreciate the attack mindset, but with the defense tracking him down, it was probably better to kick that one out.
Green passes to Laverne. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. Green's got 3 assists in the game. Suns trail by 21. Ulis dishes to Knight. Back to Ulis. Baseline J on the way. Rebound by Parker. Parker's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Got a piece of it, and they get it back. Bertans' shot is good.
I'm sorry, that's poor defense down low again. It's been a mismatch thus far in the paint.
Len a screen. Ulis kicks to Len. Knight for 3. He can't get that one to fall. And the Spurs going the other way now. They're coming off that win against Philadelphia.
And anytime you come off the bench, you know your role. And that night, it was about scoring.
Especially on the road. You're hoping for any extra contributions. But for a couple of stretches there, the backups control the game.
Gay with the block.
A pretty good defender. Gay using that 7'3" wingspan well. Get that shot out of here.
And fouled on the shot, so the bucket counts and a chance for one more here.
Yeah, going to the floater right there. That was pretty.
A different look now for San Antonio. Pau Gasol is checked in for Laverne. Kawhi Leonard comes in for Davis Bertans, and it's Ginobili in for Danny Green. And Phoenix also making a switch. Booker, he's checked in for Jones. San Antonio with the ball. Earlier in the game, they held a 25-point lead. Gasol, then Gasol with the dunk.
Hey, this is what happens when Kawhi gets the ball. He draws in the defense, and you leave someone open.
Len with a screen on Parker. On the wing, Booker over Gay. Offensive rebound. And it is good at the buzzer. Wow!
And they make sure to get the last shot of the quarter there. Nicely done.
You know, this is the discipline you need to play with. At this level, number of possessions matters.
And so it's the San Antonio Spurs cruising into the quarter break with a 22-point lead. They've had active hands and have forced a lot of turnovers in this one. Back to the action after this word. A chance now to hear Greg Popovich talking to his team just moments ago.
But don't stop the aggressiveness. Here we go. You got shots, let them fly.
And that's the thing about Greg Popovich. As long as you're taking good shots, he doesn't want you to hesitate, doesn't want you to stop.
Well, and the offense is designed to create opportunities. So if you pass up the opportunity, you're kind of defeating the whole purpose of the exercise.
Welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know. Our fourth quarter action underway, presented by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups. On the court right now for the Spurs, Aldridge is at the 4 with Gasol at the 5. Manu is at the 2 with Leonard playing the 3. And it's Parker in at the point guard. There's a screen by Chris for 3. Booker, but they get it back. It's hauled in by Tony Parker.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Gasol, no good. Suns shooting 33% for the night. That's a big thorn in their side right now. Chandler outside. Here's Knight. Booker with no one around, and the 3 ball is good.
I mean, just a good shooter taking what the defense allows. Find some space out beyond the arc.
And that's out of bounds. San Antonio will retain possession.
Just active defensively here, being extremely disruptive.
You know, I love the effort just to get a hand in there. He is disrupting the offensive flow.
Mills, he's checked in for Parker. And for the Suns, Jackson, he's checked in for Chris. And Eric Bledsoe subbed in for Brandon Knight. Booker against Ginobili. Chandler a screen for 3. Booker. Again, the miss by Booker.
The defense fortunate there. He's a guy you hate to leave wide open.
And Aldridge slams it in.
How many 7-footers do you know that can handle the ball like this? Aldridge all the way to the rack.
Timeout called, the Suns. And Smitty, would you ever be interested in joining a team as a general manager or a personnel guy in a front office in the league?
I would, Kevin. I mean, I love everything about the game of basketball, and obviously played it, been in broadcasting. But a GM role is something I've always talked about, coaching, front office, whatever it may be. I'll be happy because I'm in the game of basketball. And then, Kevin, if I get that job, are you coming with me?
I'm always with you, by your side and ready to go. But let me ask you, when you were playing, Steve, did you consciously think, hey, someday I might be a coach, or I'd like to sit up in the stands and evaluate talent? Does it go through your mind in the throes in the middle of your career?
Yes, it does. And a lot of the guys, I would say my mentors, one was Lenny Wilkins. He did a fantastic job. Player coach at one time. I've talked a lot to him. My wife and Joe Dumar's wife are sisters, so me and Joe have a close relationship. Pat Riley, I pick the brains of the best, and hopefully one day I'll get that chance, and hopefully I'll make that move. But right now, I'm loving what I'm doing.
Phoenix making some changes. Chris comes in for Bender, and it's Devin Booker in for Elijah Millsap. We're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter in this one. Bledsoe outside. On the wing, Booker. He's covered by Murray. Chris can't hit. Spurs have gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play. And Aldridge slams it in.
In the zone, boy. Aldridge making it look easy.
And here are the Suns now. Just under 2.5 minutes gone here in the final quarter. Over in the corner, Chandler. Rebound, San Antonio. Gasol's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Over Chris. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. And the demands of NBA basketball, no secret. The league has taken measures, Steve, to allow players more time for rest, which is good, and more time for recovery, which is better. Less back-to-backs. Do you think more can be done and should be done in those areas?
You know, I know the league is looking at it. The less back-to-backs is fantastic, and I think they're looking at the travel and the recovery. So as more and more they can limit back-to-backs, I think that helps guys recover. I think guys get a chance to be ready to go, because playing a back-to-back is extremely hard. And I think guys on their own are doing a lot to be able to take care of their bodies in the off-season. So I think both players and league are doing a fantastic job.
And since halftime, they have been locked and loaded from beyond.
Yeah, forcing defenders to come out and guard them, which could open up driving lanes if they want to take advantage of that.
Now flying high and throwing it down with the one-hand.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys. Land against Gasol. Good D by Gasol. For San Antonio, they've gotten 4 of their 6 shots to fall so far here in the fourth. A pretty nice efficiency there. And Aldridge slams it in.
Perfect vision. Mills getting quicker these days at spotting the open man.
Phoenix has gone 2 of 5 on 3-point shots since the end of the third quarter. And Booker kicks to Bledsoe. Glenn a screen. And Jones has it in the corner. And they will call over the back on the play.
And that's just all about positioning. He gets boxed out, can't fight around it, and gets the over-the-back call.
Great fundamentals on the boards. Can't see enough of this. Too many guys just tried to crash in at the last moment.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. Laverne, he's checked in for Gasol. Gay comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Green in for Patty Mills. And Smitty, this year the NBA choosing to start the season a bit earlier to cut down on the back-to-back games during the year. Do you think the NBA should spread the schedule out even more? Are you happy the way they have at least gone about this season?
I think the NBA, Adam Silver and those guys have done a fantastic job. I love how they give the guys basically a week after All-Star game. They're starting a little bit early to cut down the back-to-backs. Either way, if you can find ways to help the recovery time, is great. But I think right now, the league and the games and the scheduling, they're in good hands right now.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Spurs.
This was a team performing to its fullest capability.
A hugely satisfying win, a game that not many will soon forget, and on the other side, one that I think most will try to forget.
And on the year, this will turn out to be win number 34 for them.
And this will be their 3rd win in 3 tries against these guys. They match up so well.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Aldridge.
He was doing everything right, and the points came in bunches. Definitely had the hot hand. And just putting the finishing touches on this one, they have been on fire.
I mean, a fantastic run. The guys are really clicking, and the scoreboard reflects that.
Phoenix, no good that time either.
And this is what he gives you, the ability to contest the shot without fouling.
Perimeter defense at a premium these days. You see the value in this kind of effort.
And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. They poured it on tonight. Dominant showing in front of a crowd that loved every minute of it.
And, you know, this game could really be a defining one for what they can do when they are playing at their best. I mean, being here at home no doubt helps, and the execution was flawless.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg